Hey guys, this is Vaul, and I'm still recovering from a bit of a cold, so that's why my voice sounds a bit weird. But I thought I'd commentate on a game that I played recently against a guy that I didn't really know very well, but he seems to be a very good player. Another Terran player, so this is a Terran versus Terran game, and it's on the map Byzantium, so I wanted to do this commentary partly so I could talk about this new map. Now, I'm the yellow Terran at the bottom right, and he is the brown Terran at the top, the bottom left. The nickname that this guy uses is PlayJudge, so I'll just call him Judge in this game. And yeah, so Byzantium, this is probably the first game I've ever played on this map. And by the way, I forgot to record this video in first-person view, so I'm just obviously commentating on the replay of it. But that should work out fine. And yeah, Byzantium, I heard somebody mention that it reminds them of Reverse Temple, and I agree. It's very similar to Reverse Temple in some respects. It doesn't have those island expansions, but your base is in a kind of like a sunken elevation area. You actually have to head upwards from a ramp, leaving your base, so enemies can get a contain on you and get vision on you right on your ramp there, which is a bit annoying, especially for Terran, but not too big a deal. And PlayJudge here is going for his barracks and refinery at the same time, and I've decided to be a bit sneaky and go for a 14 command center. So with builds like this, it really depends on whether he gets the luck of the scout and whether he comes up with a good enough plan to counter it when he has that small window at the early stage of the game. I like to do this build against players that I haven't really played very much against, or on a map that they're unlikely to rush me on, and just putting my barracks in the choke point there because I want to put a bunker next to it and just close up that gap as much as I can. And unfortunately for my opponent here, Judge, he's scouting up to the top left, so a bit unfortunate for him. A bit unlucky, but we'll see what he comes up with a bit later on. And yeah, so Byzantium, really interesting with the third base. The nearest third base is not too far away. It's a mineral only, but next to that there are various other ramps leading down to other potential force bases that you can take. And it seems to have quite a nice layout. It's got a buildable center of the map as well, so it's possible to proxy your opponent and so forth. And Judge appears to be going for a double factory there, so looks to be pulling out a very aggressive build. Not sure why he's cut his civvies there, but maybe he's just waiting to spend on something. And over at my base, finally getting that bunker down, transferring some SCVs across, and he still hasn't actually scouted me yet, so I should have Marines in that bunker before he even gets an SCV into my base, which usually gives you the possibility of trying something like going directly into Wraiths after your 14cc, and that's something I do try sometimes, not too often though. I saw a mine do it once, which is why I thought I'd give that a shot. And yeah, he's putting down a starport, and I mean, the one reason I haven't gone straight into Wraiths or something crazy like that is I haven't actually scouted him by the looks, or have I? No, I don't think so. And here he goes with mines. So it looks like he's keen to put a mine drop vultures into my base or something like that. And of course, I'm completely unaware of that. My SCV is up the top left side of the map. And finally, his SCV arrives, but Marines in the bunker to take that out. So things going pretty well, but he knows at this point that I've actually gone for a quick expansion, and he hasn't got an expansion started at all, so it's entirely up to him to do some damage. But with the starport, I think there's a possibility for him to do just that. But we'll just have to see how well he pulls this off. And there goes my scout, just arriving in the face of a tank, and unfortunately prevents me from seeing his base and seeing what he's doing. You really know that you're in an advantageous position if you get that 14cc up and running, but you're in even more of an advantageous situation if you can scout your opponent's base as well and know what he's trying to do to counter it, because it's quite easy to stop various counters with 14cc up if you know what they're doing. But what he is doing is just heading straight into my base with vultures in the rear. He hasn't actually laid down his hand yet as far as the vultures are concerned, but just putting a little bit of pressure on in terms of the tank. So hasn't got siege mode upgrade yet. I'm expecting him to siege up, but I don't know that he went for mines. And bringing in a tank of my own just to keep that other tank from putting on too much pressure there. Upgrading siege mode myself, and I've decided to get a quick vulture, quick Goliath instead of going for that second add-on, because I know that this is his window of opportunity to attack me. So I've decided to just get as many troops as I can at this point, and siege mode's finished for me. So bringing the tank around, siege up, and he's still pumping vultures. He's got a single dropship ready now. He's been a little bit light on the SCVs. Every time I've checked his base there to see what he's doing, he's not building SCVs, which is interesting. I've really been trying to pump out the SCVs like crazy, get an economy up. And he's just swinging his barracks straight over to my base to get a good amount of vision, see where he can land those vultures in there, and putting down his command center. Finally, the dropship's heading out. He's also putting down a bunch of vultures, vulture spider mines, that is. To prevent me from moving out and putting some pressure on him. And I've decided to move out knowing that he only had that one tank there, and that's when I see the vultures and I'm like, oh shit, I have to move away. And one single mine goes off, doesn't manage to do any damage, and very fortunate for me that I moved back and prevented that. But he's now got a vulture load of, well, he's got a dropship load of vultures, and looking to head into my base and do some damage. There's my engineering bay going up just in case, because I expected dropships a little bit later on, but he's gone for a very quick dropship, of course, and mine's been planted down on my base, and SCV's getting clobbered at this point, so having to pull back the SCVs right now, prevent him from doing much more damage. And that's what I need to bring my forces back here. And trick to taking out those mines is to keep your forces together and attack move them while they're all bunched up. And as long as there are not too many mines, you'll be able to shoot them down. And I seem to have managed to succeed in doing that, which is fortunate. And looks like he's picking up another couple of vultures and heading straight to my natural, knowing that my troops are out of position back in my main. And I really need to put my SCVs back at this point, and landing vultures behind my second mineral line over here at the natural. Luckily, I've got a tank in behind to get rid of these vultures, and he has managed to do some damage to my economy, but I don't think it's been enough, because I had that second command center up for a while, and I've been pumping SCVs like crazy, as you saw. And here goes my third factory. So I've still got a comfortable lead, but I found it very interesting that this player decided to go for that vulture drop. It's quite a cool Terran versus Terran strategy. You definitely get style points for it, but it's quite hard to pull off. And already he's managed to keep some pressure up here, because there's the two dropships with tanks and Goliaths, and he can just, if he can keep me in my base, that'll allow him to keep expanding and eventually carry on. So that's one good way to deal with the 14 Nexus, is just to keep the pressure on your opponent for as long as you can. But I've got a missile turret up, and he's just flying straight into this. Looking actually quite bad, because losing that dropship. So a bit of an unlucky situation here for my opponent. Losing all of his units there, not doing any damage with those dropships, and he even lost a single dropship. So this is prompting me to move out and put some pressure back on him, just so I can really secure my lead and hopefully take this game. And I've got a lot of tanks, and seeing his one tank and just a couple of Goliaths there sieging up. What I should have done is not sieged up and just pressed in and focused them. That would have been a much better way of doing it, but I decided to siege up and unsieged again, knowing that I'd made a mistake. And